Today we're going to have a lesson on compatible numbers with division. This is an estimation lesson that will help you to understand compatible numbers. The first thing we're going to do is review our vocabulary words for division. If your division sentence is written horizontally, the first number is always the dividend. That's what you have. That's what you're starting with. And the second number is your divisor. That's how many groups you're going to group it into. So here we're taking 43 of something and dividing it into 5 equal groups. If it's written with a bracket, or a shelf sometimes it's called, the 43 is the dividend underneath the shelf, and your divisor is on the outside of the shelf. Again, it's the same thing. Compatible numbers, a definition is numbers you do in a problem that you can do mentally. Since it's estimation, remember we want to always keep it quick. Estimate the following: 17 divided by 4. Now, in my basic facts, the first thing I'm going to look at is 4, because in my basic facts I know that I can divide by 4 in my head. But 17 divided by 4 will leave me with the remainder. So I'm going to change the 17 to a 16, and 16 divided by 4 equals 4. That would be my estimate. Here's another one. Again, I can divide by 7 in my head if I look at the divisor first. But I don't know how many times 7 goes into 200. Those zeros are a little intimidating, so I'm going to try to ignore them. I don't think 7 can go into 2, but if I go to the next digit, 7 can go into something close to 20. And in this case, I know that 7 times 3 is 21. So I'm going to change the 200 into 210 divided by 7, and I know that 21 divided by 7 is 3, and then I can bring that 1 0 over to the quotient. I can also check this by using my fact families. 7 times 0 is 0, 7 times 3 is 21. So therefore I know that the answer of 30 is correct. Here's another example. In this case, 380 is a large number, and 1,200 as the dividend is also large. I'm going to not think about those zeros right now, and I'm going to think about 38. Well, that's not a single digit, but I can round it to 40 and think of just 4. Well, now I have 120 divided by 40. I can do that. I'm going to add the zeros, and I'm going to take 12 divided by 4, which is 3, and then I have 2 zeros in my dividend and 2 zeros in my divisor, and I subtract those to get 0 zeros. So my answer is 3. In the next one, 713 divided by 62, again, I can't divide by 62, so I'm going to round it to a number that's easier, and a multiple of 10 is easy, so that's 60. Now I have to think 713, but I want to make sure that the 6 goes into 7. I could change that to 600, but that's too far off. So I'm going to look at 71. I know through my basic facts that 72 is divisible by 6. If I take those zeros off, then I have 72 divided by 6, which is 12. I can put the zeros back on. 720 divided by 60, 72 divided by 6 is 12. And 1 0 minus 1 0 is 0 0, so my final answer is 12. Remember, these are estimates. You can have a different way of doing it to get close to 12. In your notes, I'd like you to put these 2 steps and this example. The first thing you need to do is to look at the divisor and the dividend. Compare them. Think of fact families. And that's the second part, to look for numbers that are part of the fact family. In this case, 260 divided by 6. Well, I can divide by 6 easily in my head. But I know that 6 does not go into 26, so I'm going to have to change that number. What number should I change the 26 to? 24 is a good one, so 240 divided by 6 does equal 40. 24 divided by 6 is 4. 1 0, bring it around over to the quotient. Now try these. Copy these down into your notes and try them. Remember to stop the video, and then when you're done you can start it again and we'll check them together. Write down any questions that you have. Stop the video now. Let's try number 1. I can divide by 5 in my head, so I'm going to change the 33 to 35. It's the closest multiple of 5. And I think 35 divided by 5 is 7, and bring that extra 0 over. In example number 2, I have lots of extra zeros. So I'm going to get rid of all the zeros and just look at the 9 and the 32. 9 can't go into 32 evenly, but it does go into 36, which is very close. So I changed to 3,600 divided by 90, and I think 36 divided by 9 is 4. 2 zeros minus 1 0 is 1 0. Notice how the patterns help us. Number 3, I'm going to change the divisor to 40. I just rounded it. And I'm going to think 4 can't go into 22, but it can go into 240, or 24. And then I do the division, 24 divided by 4, which is 6. 1 0 minus 1 0, so no zeros. In number 4, there's a couple of ways to get this one done. I can leave the 6, and I can change the dividend to 42 divided by 6. That's a basic fact to get 7. However, it could also round up to 48 divided by 6 as a compatible number to get 8. So there might be a different answer. Good luck!